Hello friends, I am Dr. Abhiraj Tangur, Assistant Professor, Sri Jagadguru Tondavaria, Government First College, Mundargi. In this video, I am dealing with a superconductivity concept continuation. This concept is for BSc program, Physics Paper 1, 6th semester, and this is second session. In this session, I am dealing with the superconductivity concept like Misner effect and applications of superconductivity. Learning objectives about this session is to know the concept of Misner effect, to understand the concept of diamagnetism state in a superconducting state, concept of BCS theory, concept of type 1 and type 2 superconductors, and application of superconductivity. Session outcomes are knowledge of Misner effect, understanding effect of magnetic field in superconducting state, idea about type 1 and type 2 superconductors, clarity about applications of superconductivity. Prerequisites for this topic is clear cut idea about magnetism and diamagnetism, critical temperature and critical magnetic field. Critical temperature is the minimum temperature or below that minimum temperature material exhibits a superconductivity. That temperature is called critical temperature. And critical magnetic field is the one at and above the magnetic field the material superconducting state, it becomes diamagnetic state, is called as critical magnetic field. Idea about cooling below room temperature. So cryogenics, using helium, liquid helium or liquid nitrogen, we can cool the system. That cooling idea must be aware to explain this. And electronic structure of metals and non-metals, band gap, energy gap, etc. We need these ideas. Syllabus about this one is experimental survey, occurrence of superconductivity, destruction of superconductivity by magnetic field, Meissner effect, isotope effect, and applications. Now, the Meissner effect. In 1920, Meissner discovered not only about the superconductor exhibits the zero resistance, but also spontaneous expulsion of magnetic flux when cooled through the superconducting transition. That is, there are also a perfect diamagnets. We call this as a Meissner effect. The limit of external magnetic field strength at which superconducting conductor can exclude the expulsion of magnetic lines of forces, that minimum magnetic field is called critical field strength HC, and it is a function of temperature. Now I will try to explain in detail about Meissner effect. Look here, this is blue colored ring. This is called superconducting sample. At room temperature, I can apply the external magnetic field on this specimen. So lines of forces, magnetic lines of forces, they are tending to move from south to north. Therefore, these are the lines, they are tending from south direction to north directions are represented. These lines of forces, they are passing through the superconducting specimen. Temperature is room temperature, that is temperature is greater than the critical temperature. Such kind of a state is called normal state. Now, this normal state, we can decrease the temperature. The same state, we can decrease the temperature. The temperature, once if it reaches at and below temperature, critical temperature, all magnetic lines of forces in earlier they are passing, but they are expulsion from superconducting specimen. This superconducting specimen becomes perfectly diamagnetic. All the lines of forces are expelled from superconducting state. This phenomenon is called Meissner effect. Therefore, I can define the Meissner effect as expulsion of magnetic flux when we cool the superconducting specimen below a critical temperature is called Wissner effect. The minimum magnetic field at which superconducting property will be vanishes, that minimum temperature, that minimum magnetic field is called critical field. So therefore, I repeat the Wissner effect as the expulsion of the magnetic lines of forces or magnetic flux when we cool the specimen at and below critical temperature. That expulsion is called Wissner effect, and the superconducting sample becomes perfect diamagnetic. This phenomenon is called Wissner effect. Field intensity. Removal of the superconductivity state does not only occur by raising the temperature but also by subjecting material to a magnetic field. The critical value of magnetic field for the destruction of superconductivity, Hc is a function of temperature. At T is equal to Tc, Hc is also equal to 0. The relationship between critical magnetic field is given by Hc is equal to H0 into bracket 1 minus T upon Tc square. Now is BCS theory. BCS theory is given by three scientists. One is called Bardeen, Cooper, Schiffer. For their three persons' contribution, they have been awarded the Nobel Prize in the year 1972. The complete microscopic theory of superconductivity was finally proposed in 1957 by Bardeen, Cooper, and Schiffer. This BCS theory explained superconducting current as a superfluid of Cooper pairs. So a pair of electrons interacting through the exchange of phonons. For this work, the authors were awarded the Nobel Prize in the year 1972. I will go in detail. There is a special electrons called Cooper electrons or called as Cooper pairs. We know in case of metals, the conduction is responsible for the single electrons. Single electrons are responsible for the flow of electric current or the flow of current in a metals. But we know like charges are repel each other, unlike charges are attract each other. If you take the two electrons, these are repel each other in ordinary state. But if you cool these two electrons at very low temperature, that is critical temperature, two electrons, instead of repelling, they will be start attracting, and that attracted both the two electrons, they are called Cooper pair. And these both a pair of electrons are responsible for the superconducting current. Therefore, Cooper pairs are the responsible for the flow of electric current in a superconducting specimen. Therefore, in BCS, Cooper pairs are vitally important role. Cooper pair is the name given to electrons that are bound together in a certain manner, first described by Leon Cooper. In normal superconductors, the attraction is due to the electrons interaction. Electron-electron interaction through the phonons. The Cooper pair state forms the basis of BCS theory of superconductivity. When a metal is cooled to the critical temperature, electrons in the metal form Cooper pairs. Cooper pairs are electrons which exchange phonons and becomes bound together. Bound electrons behave like bosons. Their wave functions don't obey Pauli's exclusion principle, and thus they can all occupy the same quantum state. The BCS theory of superconductivity states that bound photons have slightly lower energy, which prevents the lattice collisions and thus eliminates the resistance. As long as KT, Boltzmann's constant into temperature, is less than binding energy, then the current will flow without any dissipation. Now, types of superconductors. Superconductors are of two types. One is called type 1 superconductor, another one is type 2 superconductors. What is meant by type 1 and type 2 superconductors can be explained through the graphs. Look here, in case of Wissner effect, so if you plot the graph intensity of magnetization versus magnetizing field, so as the magnetic field is increases, at a one particular magnetic field, the material becomes perfect diamagnetic or normal material. That magnetic field is called critical field. It suddenly drops to diamagnetic. Such kind of materials are called type 1 superconductors. Now type 2 superconductors. So this is a straight line. So as the external magnetic field is increases, intensity of magnetization is also increases. But for type 2 superconductors, as the external magnetic field is increases, magnetization is also increases, but it not reaches to this point. It suddenly slowly it reaches to the zero, but not suddenly reaches zero. Suddenly reaches the diamagnetic nature in case of type 1 superconductor. It slowly reaches the diamagnetic state. Such kind of a class of materials are called as type 2 superconductors. Therefore, sudden at particular critical magnetic field, sudden it becomes diamagnetic, called type 1 superconductors. At critical magnetic field, at and below critical magnetic field, it does not suddenly, but it slowly it becomes diamagnetic. Such kind of a class of materials are called as type 2 superconductors. Now compare both these. Sudden loss of magnetization type 1, gradual loss of magnetization type 2. Exhibits Misner effect, does not exhibits complete Misner effect. It exhibits partially. No mixed state, it is mixed states. Soft superconductor, it is hard superconductors. Example is lead, tin, mercury. Here NbSn, Nb titanium. These are the two types of superconductors. Now superconducting materials and critical temperature. So metal alloys, they exhibits less than 39 Kelvin. Some organic superconductors less than 42 Kelvin. Some heavy fermions exhibits less than 1 Kelvin. Some boronitrides exhibits less than 23 Kelvin. But some oxide based elements less than 30. But yttrium, barium, copper oxides, some metal and metal oxides with the actinides, so it is nearly 120, 70, 130 Kelvin. So in this way, some mixed composition of materials exhibits superconductivity at 120, 130 Kelvin. So these are the good superconductors right now. Applications of superconductivity. Superconductivity applications are innumerable, but few of them we are mentioning here. Magnetic leviation, magnetic field detection, that is SQUAD, that is superconducting quantum interference devices, power transmission, and superconducting generators. Now we will see the applications of superconductivity. Superconductivity is mostly used in magnetic levy trains. So these magnetic levy trains, they are very special kind of trains in the future days. The trains does not touch with the tracks. The wheels are magnetized. They are not, wheels are cannot be touched with the track. They are moving above the track. The speed of the trains is nearly 400 to 500 kilometers per hour, and very fast trains, and energy is very low, no fuels, no petrol, only superconducting materials, superconducting magnets, they can be used for these purposes. Therefore, in future days, these magnetic levy trains, they are very helpful for the future days. Medical diagnosis. In case of MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, nowadays the superconducting materials are used in case of medical diagnosis. And power cables, what we are using, copper and aluminum, their transmission loss is maximum, nearly 60 to 70% we are facing the transmission losses. Instead of we are using copper and aluminum, if we use the superconducting materials as the power cables and communication cables, then power loss can be minimized, we can use efficiently the power. Superconducting chips. A superconducting processor does not generate much heat. They are very cool. They does not require cooling phenomena. The processor is only for 4 bits compared to what we are using 32 and 64-bit processors. However, this 4-bit processor is only 500 times faster than today's common Intel processor. Therefore, these superconducting chips nowadays they are using in NASA and NSF for working for the development of superconducting chips. Limitations. what I have said, this superconducting state, it is only exhibits at very low temperature, 70 Kelvin, 80 Kelvin, 90, 160, up to 170, up to nowadays. But we are expecting this at room temperature, that is 273 Kelvin at 0 Celsius, or at room temperature nearly 300 Kelvin. If we reach the superconducting state at room temperature, maximum power problems once we are will be solved. Therefore, this is the main limitation. For presently known practical superconductors, the temperature is much below 77 Kelvin. The temperature of liquid nitrogen, keeping them below that temperature involves a lot of expensive cryogenic technology. Scientists are working on designing superconductors that can operate at room temperature. Type 2 superconductors in particular are extremely brittle, limiting their range of practical applications, although type 1 superconductors generally are not as brittle. The other major limitation of superconductor is their sensitive and changing magnetic field, meaning that AC currents will not be withstand with such a kind of a superconductors. So these are the limitations of superconductors, but the scientists are rigorously, they are trying for the superconductivity phenomena for the room temperature achievement. Once if we achieve the room temperature about the superconductivity, all our energy crisis, everything will be solved and will become energy efficient in future days. Conclusions: that superconductivity is one of the important discoveries in the field of modern physics. The mentioned properties predicts that the superconductivity can be classified into different types. An advantage is their capability of carrying enormous amount of energy without loss under critical temperature. Such kind of superconductors can save lot of energy in future days. So with all these things, I'm concluding this superconductivity chapter. If you have any doubts, or you can drop your questions to my WhatsApp, I will try to solve your doubts and clearance. Thank you one and all.